Deshalb spielt er bislang richtig gute Darts. Gestern das Match gegen James Wade aus einem 1:5 das 6:5 gemacht. Auf ihn müssen wir ein Auge haben. Bin gespannt, was er uns heute zeigen wird. Die Rede ist von Dynamite Darren Johnson. Darren Johnson tritt an gegen die aktuelle Nummer 14 der Welt, einer der besten Pro-Tour-Spieler der letzten Jahre, hat schon 8 Pro-Tour-Turniere gewinnen können. Er stand 2012 in Sindelfingen auf der European Tour in einem Finale. Kommt aus Stoke-on-Trent. Herzlich willkommen, Ian Diamond White.
Love it, absolutely love it. Playing for the right to meet the world #1 Michael van Gerwen in the quarterfinals tonight, Ian White and Darren Johnson. Johnson somehow overcoming James Wade yesterday. 5-1 he trailed before rattling off 5 legs on the bounce. Ian White also taken the distance in his match yesterday, surviving more than a few anxious moments against John Bowles. In particular, with a checkout of 98 in the decider, taking out double 19 as well. It was nervy stuff at times for Ian White, and this could be just as testing an encounter for him as well. A combined age of 96, these two, proving that they are the oldest swingers in town this weekend. Not quite an oldest swinger in town. Dan Dawson joins me for this one.
No, not quite.
Not quite.
Thanks,
Almost.
Malarkey.
Who is
Old man Malarkey.
Substantially older than Mr. D.
Well, nice to have some responsibility and experience in this commentary team. And we've certainly got some experience up on stage. And Darren Johnson, at the age of 50, is probably playing the best darts of his life.
Game on.
He has beaten MVG, Benito, Barney, Ian White, James Wade, all in the last few weeks.
140.
Made his first PDC final a couple of weeks ago, through to a final day of a European tour for the very first time in his career today. Darren Johnson from somewhere has just produced
140.
the best stuff he's ever thrown. Or at least in terms of PDC results. Maybe he throws his stuff all the time in Yorkshire darts festivals.
100.
Of which there are many.
There are. He's won a Yorkshire darts event before. But the Diamond, 3 Pro Tour wins last year, 7 PDC titles, 7 major quarterfinals. Phenomenally consistent performer, but a little bit fortunate to be here after scraping through against John Bowles. In the end, he took out 98 in a deciding leg to win it, and it was his highest checkout of the match. And he was really struggling at times in that one. It was a close shave for Ian White. However, turn it on today. He's quite capable of going all the way and winning a first European Tour event. He has made a final before, albeit 5 years ago.
Yeah, and he was playing in fits and starts yesterday in that match, wasn't he?
It wasn't pretty.
140.
Well, Johnson on his throw down to 76. White is 100 adrift. Good pressure, though, here. If he could find another big number, which he can. So Johnson will just have to watch his step.
One dart at tops for a holder throw.
And
Darren Johnson doing what Darren Johnson has been doing over the last couple of weeks especially. In fact, his finishing against James Wade yesterday was astonishing.
It was.
He wasn't missing doubles at all for the first few legs as Ian White fires in the first 180.
And it's almost like when he went 5-on down, it was a free hit every time for him, wasn't it? I'm not saying that's the best way to go, to find yourself 5-1 down in the first place, but he just seemed to play with a free rein. And obviously, just the confidence came back and he just built on that momentum. And in the end, well, James Wade looked absolutely crestfallen as he walked off stage.
I mean, look, as well as Darren Johnson played, James Wade did miss 6 match darts. But Darren Johnson won it. And he won it from 5-1 down against the world number 5.
Yeah, and he still has to put himself in position to take advantage as well.
And he was playing some great stuff. Even when Wade was 5-1 up, it's not as if Johnson had been playing that badly. He'd just been a dart or two behind Wade right the way through the mat. And as I say, his finishing was absolutely superb as he dragged himself back into contention.
100. And you require 136.
And a couple of visits from 136 for Ian White to level the game up at 1 apiece. Going to need a couple of visits. Single 19 for tops.
96.
Not going to take it out. That's your next best option. Michael van Gerwen awaits the winner of this one, as always on these European Tour events. On the final day, it's as per the draw bracket. So the winner of this one plays the winner of the previous one. Goes pairs up all the way through the afternoon.
Nice and easy to follow for you. Chizzy Klassen on next in an all-Premier League affair as Ian White takes out the attempt to level things up. As Dan said at the outset, it was Players' Championship 4 where Johnson played Van Gerwen in the semi-finals, having beaten 3 other players from the world's top 16 that weekend.
140.
And was that performance from Michael van Gerwen the one where he hasn't averaged 100 and Cristo Reyes had his chances? Was that the opportunity to beat the world number 1?
Yeah, well, we made the point about him losing at the 3rd round stage last year. There were 2 missed darts at double 16 in legs 5 and 6 for Reyes, where he
140.
could have found himself 4-2 up. Instead, he was 4-2 down, and from that moment on, he was in a spot of bother. But I think there's maybe scope for, well, certainly an argument to be made for Van Gerwen not winning this weekend, but you suspect he will just kick on maybe from now as well.
If he does give
he
a chance,
tends to improve as the day goes on. It's early days.
Yeah.
First up on stage, never easy.
60.
He may give a chance for somebody to beat him over the course of these weekends. He doesn't tend to give out lots of chances. We shall see, though. Ian White beat Michael van Gerwen 6-0 in the Pro Tour final last year. And he's just fired in 180 number 2 to get down to a finish. And just put some pressure on this 161 that Johnson's got. Not going to go. So White will come back and have a look at the 164. 2 treble 19s for ball, or treble 20, treble 18 ball.
164.
Which route for Diamond? More conventional one, but he's unable to find the treble 20. So Johnson, having set that shot up very nicely, will look at double 12. We had a 15 dart to start, a 14 dart reply from Ian White, and this could be a 13 darter. It's getting better. Oh well. Another 14 darter, nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong at all. Darren Johnson made only 3 European Tour appearances last year. He won only 1 match. That was against János Veksa of Hungary
60.
in Hildesheim last October. He's won 2 already this weekend. Opened up with a 6-1 defeat of Robert Allenstein, the German player.
83.
All 4 Germans bowing out at the first hurdle. Averaged almost 98 in that match as well.
Well, that's it. He's averaged close to 98 in both games. And that is another maximum for Ian White. Michael van Gerwen's only averaged 97.8 in that game.
I think every time the camera flips around and focuses on that, often, I'm not saying every time, but regularly it produces a 180. Here we go again. Let's see if it happens. No.
Well, thanks for jinxing that, Robert.
100.
Yesterday, certainly.
Anyway, there was all sorts of things going on.
You don't need to do it every time now.
All right. You're a commentator or a director, man. Show what they like. Carry on.
161.
Sorry, guys. White here, 161 for a hold of throw.
Staying up there, doesn't need to come for the treble 17 and bullseye because Johnson back on 2-1-2, but
83.
could have been better. Probably has to find 1 treble.
100.
And does. So, White may only get 1 dart at a double. Johnson will get a dart at a double if he hits a treble. Finally poised. Oh, it's lovely. 2 darts. Double 12. Only needs the 1. It's another 14 darter for the Diamond Ian White. And these two at the moment everything in 15 darts or fewer, and that means we've got ton plus averages, and in fact Ian White is right up there at nearly 110.
That visit brings Johnson's right down.
$58.
Yeah, a bit of a lull at the start of this fifth leg. Johnson, one of 3 unseeded players to make this stage of the tournament. Jan Dekker is another. He plays Benito van der Pas in 2 matches' time. And Kevin Painter, former World Championship finalist, up against Gerwyn Price in the penultimate match of the afternoon session.
21.
Well, Dekker took care of Michael Smith, a 3-time Euro Tour winner, and the artist took out Simon Whitlock, who's won 5 titles in as many months in resurgent form. So big victories for those 2 guys. Were they to go and add another win this afternoon, they're into the final session, and who knows what could happen.
81.
2 big names dominating the draw here, though. Michael van Gerwen, obviously one of them, made a habit of starting off the European Tour each year by winning a succession of these titles. And Peter Wright, the UK Open champion, a man who won 3 of the 6 UK Open qualifying events, in the other half of the draw. But Alan Norris
100.
is the defending champion. He takes on Kim Huybrechts, who's a 2-time Euro Tour winner. Lots of potential winners in this field. Potentially could have a new winner. Somebody like Benito van der Pas, maybe. Somebody like Ian White, potentially. Darren Johnson. Don't rule him out, but he's got problems in this leg because White is down to a finish first on the Johnson throw. He's going to set it up.
90.
So first glimmer of a good opportunity to break here for Ian White.
28.
Oh dear.
And you require 51.
Yeah, it kind of sums up the leg for Darren Johnson. 18 darts thrown and still not down to a finish, but double 16 for the diamond. Yeah.
Short of the 5th
There we go. It's the first one over
Ian
15
White.
darts, but it's a break of throw.
6th leg into throw first.
And it puts White into the lead for the first time. Just drags down that average to a mere 105. Relieved man last night, Ian White, after coming through that victory over John Bowles. Deciding leg, averaged only 90.
Yeah, we often see that. Players have a big scare early on.
109.
And that third half somehow found its way through and stayed nestled in. And Darren Johnson just issuing 1 or 2 reminders here. So too Ian White, though. Oh.
4 180s for Ian White. We're only in the 6th leg. Did hit 4 180s in his opening game as well. The scoring, or at least the big visit
41.
in terms of scoring, have been there so far for Ian White.
Grimace from Johnson after backing up his 180 with a 41.
I'd be surprised if he didn't find a treble from there.
60.
Well, that's me surprised.
Consider yourself. Yeah, Johnson kicking off with a ton 80 on his opponent's throw. Must have been
45.
really hopeful of at least launching a better assault than this to break back straight away. White down to a finish of 1-2-4. It's on hold for now.
$44.
Ooh, now then.
140.
Just a little something for White to think about, just in case. Could have done with another, but White here. Oh, that is
40.
hugely unfortunate, and Johnson now
And you require
has a really good
95.
opportunity. Finishing yesterday was sublime, and it could well be similar today with double 19. He split it.
Well, strange times. I'm not really sure Ian White should have been anywhere near that first dart. I'm not quite sure how he's managed to hit the flight and see it bounce off. In the end, Johnson misses the dart on double 19 inside, allows White back to the board, and a 16 darter for Ian White. So, again, the average is just creeping down a little bit, but he's still safely over the 100 mark. And more importantly for Ian White, that's 3 legs on the spin. He's got a little bit of daylight between him and his Yorkshire opponent. And from Mexborough, same part of the world as the great Dennis Priestley. Oh, surely. Surely!
He's rattling through these 180s this afternoon, Ian White. He hit 4 yesterday in that win over John Bowles. Yeah, and he follows up with a ton 40 as well, and Johnson has lots to think about here.
140.
He's responding well.
Still make White the narrow favourite for this leg. Thought he might use the bullseye with that last dart, because White will come back looking at 121 here. Had he hit 25, he will have left 116, and there you only need 1 treble for a dart at a double. 1 treble for Ian White here gets him a dart at the bullseye.
121.
A little bit trickier, still gettable. Yes, 11 now. Bullseye, 5-2.
96.
And when you miss it by those little margins, you just suddenly think, well, the double might have been there, but matters not. Johnson double 16. Can he use that one? Looks like a decent guide. Oh, he's just stuck it alongside it. And Darren Johnson's campaign at the Happy Bet German Darts Championship may be coming to an end, because 17 for double 4 for the Diamond Ian White. It's 5-2. It's 4 legs on the spin. And the number 8 seed looks to be heading through to the quarterfinals in a showdown with Michael van Gerwen in the world number 1.
Well, the consolation for Johnson and his contingent is that he was 5-1 down yesterday against James Wade, but you can't really see that happening again here.
121.
Darren Johnson, that is perhaps what he has to cling to here. It's unlikely perhaps that he can produce exploits like that on 2 successive days, but it's what he's got to do.
Well, it should be relatively easy. Came from 5-1 down against the world number 5. Coming from 5-2 down against the world number 14 would be child's play. The world number 14 is averaging almost 105, courtesy of 3 14 darters, a 16 darter and a 17 darter.
It just feels like a very different proposition this today somehow.
And make no mistake, Ian White can play at this level all day. He can do this. This is why he's won those floor titles. People look at Ian White, perhaps if you've only seen him play on the telly, and go, oh, well, you know, he makes quarterfinals, he's a good player, but he doesn't have that extra gear to go on. And all right, that's been the case so far in the big TV tournaments, but look at the way he's played here. He can do this over and over again today. Double top for a 6-2 win. Oh, well, it would have been the best leg of the match. It could still be the best leg of the match if he fires in a 13 darter. And his average is safely well over the 100 mark. And if you play like that all day, because he missed 2 darts there, he'd only missed 1 dart at double prior to that. Play like this all day, and Ian White has a very real chance of going all the way and claiming the first European Tour title. Double top, 6-2, and the diamond ends Darren Johnson's run here in Hildesheim. He will take on world number 1 Michael van Gerwen in the opening quarter-final this evening. An average of 104.68. That, I believe, is second highest this weekend, behind only MVG himself, where he put in a staggering 111. Yeah, you damn man, you've earned it. Ian White, to face MVG tonight. Now we're going to look at the second quarter-final. It'll be Benito van der Pas against Jan Dekker in an all-Dutch encounter. But first, it's another Dutchman, Jelle Klaassen, the Premier League star, against his fellow Premier League thrower, Chizzy Dave Chisnall.
104. That's good. That's better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better than yesterday. But we've got to get 111 like Michael, haven't we? You know, we've got to get up there. So, yeah, 104, good finishing. I'm happy.
What does that mean for the next matches? Is nothing, or will it give you confidence, and is it a sign for you?
It means I've got to beat 104. But no, just I'm playing well up here. I've got the first day out of the way, which is the main thing. Come up here a bit more relaxed. I've done what I can normally do on TV.
Reaching the last session, is that always the goal, to still be in the tournament?
It is. If I win the next match, I'll have to get another flight because I've got a flight tonight. So, but we'll see how we go.
See you later again. Thank you very much. Ian White.